Today we're talking about the importance of healing from our past. And I want to talk about it because I feel like a lot of us, we allow our past to have a lot of power over us, and it can hurt us in the future, hurt what God is planning to do with us in the future. And a part of us loving ourselves, what makes it difficult is the unresolved baggage of the past. And we try to bring that baggage, we try to bring the old into the new, and it just don't work out. You know what I'm saying? So we getting into that today. And make sure y'all like, make sure y'all subscribe, put your people on. This is for you and yours. It's your boy Tay. This is the Nfluence channel. Y'all stay tapped in. You already know. How can we heal from the past? And I know a lot of us there are people who have had childhood traumas, bad relationships, and just a whole lot of toxic stuff. And we've done things that we don't know if we could really move forward from. I think to heal, we need to first revisit the past. This is how history is doomed to repeat itself. A lot of us, we trying to run from what happened back in the day. We're just trying not to, we don't want to think about it no more. We just want to act like it never happened. But it always brings its head back up in our lives in the present. And because we haven't dealt with these things, we don't tend to express or act right when these things do, because we're triggered. And in fact, I think that the simple fact that we do get triggered is the indicator that you haven't healed from what you thought you did, if you even tried to heal from it at all. So I think we shouldn't run from our past. And I think when we do revisit it, we should let out whatever pain it is that we're feeling from what it is we're thinking about. I do my morning talks and my reflection, and I'm on a walk, constantly moving. And whatever I feel, I'm letting it out. Energy, emotion, like my friend told me. So, and I try to do that. I try to do it before I go into prayer. When I don't filter my stuff, I'll be just talking to God, ranting, and then I'm like, is this even a prayer or is this a rant? Like, you know what I'm saying? But I try to, get that energy out so I could approach God and come with a better energy. Still be honest, still be truthful with him, but come with a better energy. So I do that, and then I journal. Journaling is a good way to let out that energy as well, as opposed to bottling everything in. The next step for us to heal, we gotta learn. We gotta seek out the lessons in the mistakes we made and the choices that we made. We have to make the choice. I'm gonna move forward past this. Like I said, when you leave the past unchecked, it can cause some issues in the future. So I know with my relationship with my girl, I went into our relationship, and probably like the first 2 or 3 months, I like looking back on it now, but I think I shouldn't have got into the relationship just yet, or as quickly as I did, because for the first 2-3 months, I was kind of pushing her away because I'm sitting here looking at this relationship. I'm like, it's too good to be true. And then not only that, I couldn't trust myself because I thought the girl before her, I was thinking that was what I wanted. That's gonna be something serious. I'm gonna build something with this woman. And then no, no, not at all. You know what I'm saying? Like God showed me with that, like, nah, this is dead. This is done. And so I couldn't even trust myself anymore. So when I got to her, it was like, okay. It's like I was tap dancing. I want to be here, but I don't want to be vulnerable. I don't want to take this leap of faith, and then you mess around and be like the last one. And now I'm out here heartbroken again. So like I said earlier in the video, leaving your past unresolved and not checking it, not healing from it, or not even healing from it fully, can cause problems in the future. Because if I didn't even start the healing and I just jumped into the next relationship, chances are me and her wouldn't have made it this long. Because either she would have got tired of trying to prove to me, yo, this is the real deal, or I would have just said, nah, I'm out. I made the choice. Yo, I'm moving forward with this one. And I'm stay prayed up for sure. It starts with a choice. You have to make the choice to move forward, because if you don't, you stay in bondage, stuck in between the past, the present, the future. Stuck between the past and the future. Jesus said, who the Son sets free is free indeed, right? So it's our choice. That's the problem. Our choice is to remain in bondage to the past because we continue to run from it, or we are not healing from it, where we're throwing it under the rug. Our pride won't let us go seek help. None of that. Won't go to therapy. No, nothing. You know what I'm saying? Or just for any, it don't got to be so deep, but whether we made bad business decisions or whatever it is like that, our choice to stay looking at the past and not learning from it is what keeps us in bondage, keeps us chained. I had to make the choice, going back to my example, I had to make the choice, yo, I'm gonna go ahead. But before I even did that, like I said, I had started the process already. So I was already trying to, because that's why I was even trying to be with her, because I already put a little bit of work in. But even in that process before her, it was, what did I gain and what did I lose? And at the end, I could only testify of God's goodness. So I didn't lose anything. You know what I'm saying? So I learned from it. I learned why the relationship failed. I learned, like that. So I was able to move forward. But it starts with a choice. We got to learn from our past. Because sometimes God will put us through the same test over and over. Why? Because you didn't learn. You didn't learn the lesson yet. I think another thing that we're going to have to do in the process, we're going to have to forgive ourselves. Forgiveness is we got to forgive we have to forgive. One, we got to forgive ourselves for the choices that we made, sins we did, whatever it is like that. We got to forgive ourselves. Because as we grow, we gain more knowledge, we gain more wisdom. And with that, and with you learning, like I said, you'll put yourself in a mindset where you're like, yeah, I wouldn't do that again how I did it before. You're no longer that person. And even if there is someone who is the cause of your trauma, you still got to forgive them. You still have to forgive them. And it's not for them, it's for you. And we already know the Bible tells us, like, yo, if you don't forgive, God won't forgive you. And it's like when you don't forgive, you walk around with that chip on your shoulder, with that weight on your shoulder that you really don't even got to carry. And when you don't forgive, like I said back at the top of the video, you being triggered is the indicator that you haven't healed from the situation. So when you don't heal, things are gonna come up. That's the funny thing about it, is like the past sometimes tries to come back around to test you. You don't forgive yourself. When it does come back, you'll be triggered. We shouldn't let the past keep us from walking in the new. Another thing, we cannot let it define us. Do not define yourself as your mistakes. We all make mistakes. It's funny, it's like I'm talking to myself. We can't define ourselves by our mistakes. Your identity isn't who God says you are. So I think even in that, reaffirm yourself and what the word says and who God said you are by looking in the word. That's how you reaffirm yourself. As opposed to looking back in time and saying, I made this mistake. I'm so stupid. I'm so this. I'm foolish. I'm unwise. Oh, I'm this. I'm that. Whatever you may tell yourself. And I did a video talking about some self-affirmations I did. Because even when we fall into sin, I know, speaking for myself, I've condemned myself. So y'all check that video out. My affirmations I do when I'm on my morning walks and things like that. And then lastly, accept that it's a process. It's going to take time for us to begin to walk in the new. You know what I'm saying? So we got to heal from the past. Sometimes before you can enter into the new, you have to get rid of the past. You have to heal from it. You have to learn from it. And just have the understanding that, yo, it's a process. This journey ain't gonna come easy. It ain't gonna be peaches and cream the next day. Because even in us, once we did what we did, or once whatever happened to us happened, we built habits out of survival. Because that's typically what happens. Like I said, with a breakup, what happens after that? It's basically survival of the fittest. So your heart is off the rip going to tell you, yo, we can't trust women again. We can't trust men again. Look what they did to us. Like, nah, not having that again. I don't ever want to feel this heartbreak again. So you're going to do what you got to do to not feel that pain again. And what we do is build habits and things like that to keep us safe. But we never really safe. And we can't live a life like that. You know, so that's my thing. That's my thing. I'm really hoping that this video helped out. But I just want to talk about that, man, because I feel like, this is a part of self-love. Some of us can't love ourselves because we're not looking in the past. So we gotta revisit it. We gotta learn from it. We gotta forgive ourselves, forgive whoever is the source of your trauma, right? And then don't let it define you, and accept that it's gonna take time. All right, so I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment. This for you and yours. And yeah, man, God bless. Prayerfully, y'all on path for what God has in store for you and getting to know him. So I hope y'all enjoyed. Peace and love.